The task of creating a new account on a website is perhaps one of the most hated by users. People resent having to create and then remember a new password for a random website or application. Even though today's password managers, some built into mobile operating systems or browsers, can make keeping track of passwords somewhat easier, many users do not take advantage of them. One method to make registration less painful is to get rid of passwords altogether. Some apps and websites do so by taking advantage of the concept of one-time password. One-time passwords, or OTPs, are codes that are sent through a text or email message to a phone number and respectively email address associated with the account. When the OTP is sent through email, it is sometimes called a magic link. Until recently, OTPs were used for two-factor authentication or sometimes as an alternative to entering the password. For example, Walmart allows its users to log in by typing an OTP sent to their phone number. A novel interaction pattern allows users to use OTPs all the time without even defining a password for their account. This is what we call a passwordless account. With passwordless accounts, when the user creates the account, they are prompted for an email or a phone number, but they're not asked to define a password. If the user needs to log in at later times, they will be sent an OTP to the phone number or email associated with their account. Here's an example from Kayak. You can see that the only information asked of the user at registration is an email account. Passwordless accounts ensure speedy registration. They also require little effort to memorize or keep track of the password. However, at login, users must retrieve the code received through text or email. It's fairly easy to deal with OTPs sent through text messages because these usually appear as a suggestion on the keyboard and users can quickly select them. But it can be trickier to copy and paste a code sent to another application, such as in an email. First, because the user has to switch to that application, and second, because they have to copy the code from it, an operation that, surprisingly, is not well supported by all apps. If you decide to offer passwordless accounts to users, which we definitely recommend that you do, consider also allowing them to later add a password to their account if they wish so, like Kayak does. Users who use the application a lot may prefer to use a password that is saved by their password manager instead of bothering with OTPs or magic links. You should also allow users to enable biometric authentication to log into their account. With iOS 16, it's also become possible to define a passkey for an account. A passkey is encrypted and, unlike a password, does not have to be remembered by the user. In fact, the user will never see the passkey for an account. When the user logs into the account from an Apple device, the device will recognize that a passkey exists for the account, and based on biometric information from the user, Face ID or Touch ID, it will automatically authenticate the user. If the user logs in from a non-Apple device, they will be prompted to scan a QR code with their iOS device. To summarize, passwordless accounts are a welcome new pattern that enables your users to quickly create an account for your site or application. Adopting them will make registration less painful, but logging in without a password may feel tedious for some users. To accommodate them, make sure that registered users have the option to add a password to their account if they wish so.
Thanks for watching. If you want to see more of our UX videos, take a look at these over here and consider subscribing to our channel. On our website, nngroup.com, you can access our free library of over 2,000 articles. You can also register for one of our virtual UX conferences that offer live hands-on UX training.